It began with 3 pillars, the foundation for UW Esports, pushing ourselves to greater heights.
Community.
Career.
Competition.
Oh yeah. Reminds me of Toronto Defiant Yakpung. Reminiscent of that, of just juggling everyone into the corner there.
Maybe that'll be the game changer here for UW.
Maybe. Oh my goodness, what an angle by Wizard.
Wow.
Hello, and
and welcome to our UW Esports Game of the Week. We are gonna get to watch some really great Overwatch for our UW Overwatch team's Overwatch Homecoming. Thank you for tuning in with us tonight as we compete against University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, and Savannah College of Art and Design. Yes, we do have two extraordinary matches for you tonight. A note on our esports program, we seek to build and foster community, open doors to the vast career of opportunities in the field of gaming, and promote the virtues of healthy competition. And through esports, we're able to communicate with one another, forming and developing digital communication communities so necessary in the challenging times we are facing. Man, I really need to work on those lines. I somehow keep screwing them up. Oh well.
It's a bit of a tongue twister. It's all good.
Bit of a tongue twister. It's all right. We're giving away. We're slightly reading from script, but it's okay. It's an important notice that we should all hear. And we hope that you enjoy being part of our community as we sit here and goof around a little bit. You know, have a little give and take. Really appreciate that. And if you want to enjoy more of this, you should join us on our various social media platforms. We have a Discord server, UW Esports. We also have several social media channels. We have a Twitter, we have a YouTube. You should go check those out. And as for your casters, I am Nelson. I go by Pandabear. I am a junior at the University of Washington. I'm one of your casters today.
Tariq, also known as Cheater, and I am a second-year master student at the UW Law School, and I will be your second caster tonight. And we have another doubleheader today.
Yeah, these doubleheaders have been really great. I really enjoyed the last one, although I will say last week was quite chaotic for my taste. You mixed a little bit of.
I think there was a lot of points where we saw just really intense sets of actions. For those who weren't there last week, quite honestly, it was just like Nelson said, just a lot of chaos between the two different teams. You had like. It's kind of watching. It was kind of like watching two like half-armored like gladiators, and like you could just poke from the other side, and then occasionally they poke from the other side. And so it was rather entertaining, and so I think it leads up to a really interesting set of matches this week.
Yes, I will say a lot of the fights that we saw went really long. Many ultimates used on both sides in just one fight. I will say I'm interested to see more disciplined engages from University of Washington. Perhaps more planned ult usages or whatnot. But let's just jump into our first game with the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, and we are starting off on Busan.
Now, one thing that's important to note is that May is currently banned from Overwatch and disabled in Overwatch Live right now. Pandabear, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the May being disabled actually does have a few implications. At the top tier, May hasn't been a really accounted for a lot of the pick rate to begin with. But the one thing that you know that you aren't facing in May is that May tends to be really good at punishing highly aggressive tanks, wall off the tank when they're trying to push, and you cut them off from their supports. So there won't be any of that business happening in any of the games that we're watching today. What we're going to roll out here with the University of Washington on essentially the Overwatch League comp that's been really meta right now.
That's right, we're seeing a Genji being thrown in on one side and a Reaper being thrown on the other. A little bit of fighting between these two teams. It's me trying to get in some damage in on the support heroes.
Thor just manages to get away here, but Danny's able to pick off two. On the meantime, gets fragged out, but that is a 4v3 advantage now for University of Illinois, but Cancel is really low. They're trying to chunk him down before he gets the bubbles back up, and they do. So this is actually going to probably end up being a win for the University of Washington, despite Danny popping off early.
Yeah, that was a critical pickoff right there. Honestly, it did look like it was going to go UIUC's favor, but getting those kind of critical picks at that moment really allowed the team to kind of come back, equalize the fight, and also since the fight is happening off the point, you can kind of start peeking in and
Oh,
start charging.
but canceled. He swapped to the monkey here, and he's already in. But his bubble's been broken, and canceled nearly gets taken out there to the Hellfire shotguns from Sneaky. Just able to jump away in time. But Mags, he's not careful. He gets jumped on and deleted, and now University of Washington no longer has a tank. Danny's just fragging off here.
And Sneaky goes down, and Mags is the only one left, and that is a team kill. A very good recovery, good focus on the tank by UIUC and making sure that Mags wasn't able to get a lot of action in, and a good job at countering a lot of SME's incoming damage. And the entire team responded really, really well to that because, I mean, Cancel was at a really big risk of losing it there, and, you know, the entire, like, that communication, that's key communication right there.
Ooh, but SME, it takes care of the big threat this time, and with the trade of Kitsune rushes, both CPS are all of a sudden down for University of Illinois, and yeah, this Primal Rage isn't going to get a lot of use here. And that's going to be UW with a really fast point cap as soon as they manage to deal with Lucio just sliding around here. They do so. Lucio's
the Kiriko melee right there, just finishing off Thor.
Ah, that's great. And now SME's gonna try to look for an opportunity to get a pick here with the railgun. Doesn't get it. That's unfortunate. But we do have 4 ultimates versus 3 ultimates on both sides. This could be a pretty explosive fight here. And Mags pops the Primal to stay alive here.
And Dollar coming in with the sound boost, trying to go in and get some action onto the tanks there. Cancel looking really low. Cancel's gonna go down. Thor's gonna go down. Danny is going down. It's a 2v5. And
yep,
there goes another one. Marble, that's pretty much a full team wipe there. Not quite the full team kill. Some players are coming back, but that's a decisive win for that fight.
That's kind of funny. Both Kirikos managing to kill each other at exactly the same time. That means they're not going to really. That's probably not going to mean a whole lot. They're both going to be back really fast. They're already here. Those healing photos are already coming in. But the cap already almost comes in for University of Illinois, which prompts a response immediately. The slow field, though, comes down to Disruptor Shot. That's going to force the University of Illinois off for a time being. But the supports through UW, they fall a little low, and the Kitsune Rush is out first with the Death Blossom, and it picks up 3. Great ultimate combo right there.
And that was a really good discipline with that ult by Silly Phil there. Just wait, you know, getting up that, kind of getting the whole team onto the point there, starting to contest it, and just kind of waiting and moving in and out to the right time, and then just popping that ult right when they know that the abilities are kind of on cooldown, particularly with Mags and the shield.
Right. But now Karen's gonna have an unmatched Kitsune rush here for this next engagement. Just a question of where is it gonna go down? And well, they actually might not even need it. They don't even use any ultimates to win that fight. But they just win the neutral, break the shield from cancel faster, and then just pick off everyone from the sides. That wasn't the engagement I was expecting at all.
Yeah, this was quite a surprising round. I mean, you saw a pretty much an even back and forth fight between these 2 different teams. Oops, it looks like we lost our screen just a little bit. But you saw a very uneven block between, like it was kind of almost like this chess match back and forth between the different teams. And anything that one team would look at, the other team would kind of come in and kind of poke at different parts of the bear, so to speak. And finding like, I mean, and I think you saw some really equal action coming from all the different players here.
Right.
Sneaking, getting some good play. Silly Phil then coming in with a bit of a response. The Kiriko is killing off each other. It's really just this is what you come here for these matches.
And the way that these compositions, the Winston kind of pokey dive works, is there the 2 really big players in these competitions are going to be your Winstons and your Sojourns. Winston to hold down the front and try to get a bit of a pokey dive in, but that's the other part. Danny picks off Sneaky. That's the Sojourn with the rail shot. Smee finds a nice counter response, but it's a little too late with Mags already down here. And that's just how much emphasis the Sojourn has in this mirror matchup here. The Winston, Sojourn, Reaper, and Kiriko Lucio. They're really looking to the Sojourn to be the really big difference maker here. Getting those headshots with the railgun are so important.
Cancel looking to get a little bit of poke here and get some damage off, at least track where the other team is going. UW's going to push from the backside here. Oops, the nice view of the pagoda there. Danny trying to go and deal down some of that damage. Silly Phil taking a little bit of risk, and Silly Phil will go down. Sneaky will take back the title of Reaper. Smee takes down Cancel, but both teams here without a tank. We're to see who's going to win out this fight. The Sojourn from the University of Washington side just looking to try to get another pick out here.
But he's getting surrounded by all three members. By now, the Kitsune Rush comes out of the University of Illinois, really think that they can win this fight, and Marvel, he finds the pickoff onto Dallas. The Kitsune Rush actually works here in the even engagement, and UW has no choice but to back off, and they're going to lose members on the exit here. That was a really smart usage there, knowing what they can use to try to win the fight.
And it's funny because you don't usually want to do those ultimate engagements really late. And the thing that's really great about what happened there is they saw and you could tell there's a lot of communication happening on the UIUC side. Cancel coming back from spawn, kind of timing to the point where they can use the most use the Kitsune Rush. When UW thinks that they're down, you lose track of that reset timer. You lose track of how these fights are going, and it costs them here.
But now here comes a big ultimate engage. Sound barriers on both sides, and Sneaky's going to use that to his fullest potential to just get as much damage in as he can. And the Death Balls gets invested from Silly Phil, but Sneaky just takes him out in the middle of it. But all the other picks come flowing in on the other side, and even though Sneaky managed to negate the Death Balls, well, actually, he's still getting some stuff done, but because he's slow, Marvel's able to take him out with 2 quick headshots. And that is a 100-0. Lots of close engagements, but they all seem to go University of Illinois' way.
It's really, this is a really very close fight between the two different teams, and I think communication is the big differentiator here. You can tell UIUC in the way they're timing their ultimates, they're timing their engagements. They've really kind of embraced a lot of that same advice that we were telling last week, where just using that to keep track of where your team is at, whether it's worth drawing out that engagement or cutting it short. There was a lot of very good discipline that I think you see there. I mean, I think if I was playing in a comp matchup, I would have withdrawn that that kind of second fight. But tracking where the tank was and being able to just dive in, incredible. Yeah,
incredible performance from both sides, particularly University of Illinois. And now we're on to one final stage here to win this point on Busan here for the whole match here. As we got the bubble trade out coming here, both sides will need to back off. Do need to respect the Reaper here. But University of Washington, they think they have an advantage. They're going to push in, pick off the Lucio, and now there's no get disengaged potential. Really good raid for him to make sure that it doesn't get picked by Danny there, though. And University of Washington, they're going to look to get an early fight, but this might be a 4v5 opportunity depending on when the University of Illinois wants to take this fight. Bubbles go down now, but Silly Phil goes low, but doesn't get punished for it, and Max goes down, not able to take advantage of the space afforded to him. Oh man, you see UIUC kind of taking advantage of that push, honestly kind of baiting out UW in a lot of different ways. UW capping that point, they kind of hoping that everyone would start funneling down that tunnel, and UIUC said, no, we can wait, y'all only got a few percentage points, and just taking advantage of the fact that whoever's capping can't re-engage very quickly. And you know, getting the bubbles canceled out quick, and just getting those critical picks at those moments. Yeah. And now University of Illinois has the choke point, which University has to push through. And the Kitsune Rush are going to come in, and Mags is going to just get deleted through that. There was no available Kitsune Rush on the other side to counter, and that is just that is one of the other things about this team called the Kitsune Rush is such an important ultimate for enabling your team members, getting that extra fire rate and increased cooldown reduction. Just so important. So you see those ultimates getting traded a lot. Now Karen's falling a little behind in just building those.
And we see Danny here coming in with the railgun charges, looking to get some picks, but everyone on the UW side taking cover. He gets a nice flank around, almost takes down Smee. Smee is going to go really low. Danny trying to survive on, but is not going to make it through that. Smee will come in, try to respond against Cancel there. Now Smee has a railgun. He's gonna hold it for now. And nearly gets booped off the side, but is able to use the air slide to kind of recover from that.
But not gonna be able to live
enough
through
to get
that.
Cancel out of the picture here. You see Sneaky getting ready, kind of holding. There it goes.
The
Reaper ults. Nothing really gets taken from there. Kind of zones out the rest of the team. Sneaky goes down. Cancel really just doing a lot of work here.
85%. 85% cheater.
This is gonna be pretty much the last fight here.
This is so important. Cancel's fallen so low, but the overclock isn't able to get anything here. It's 98%. Someone has to get to the point, but no one does, and that's it. University of Illinois wins out the very extended team fight at the end there.
It was absolutely incredible performance by both teams there, and I think just there's a huge amount of team awareness that UIUC is bringing to the table here, being really, really aware of who is the biggest threat. And UW is being very difficult to read here because dynamically within that fight, you see that kind of primary threat shifting. Like for a few seconds, Smee is the big target because Smee jumping in behind, getting the pick off the opposing Sojourn, and then try and start getting some action there. Then the Reaper comes in, tries to drop the ultimate, everyone backs off. Like, this is really like a lot of meta gaming and trying to read each other's minds, and I think that is the key difference here with high level competitive play like this, is that you get that reading between the two teams. This is a game of psyching the other team out and figuring out what you can do. You saw UW try to do this with pulling out the UIUC team through that choke, and then you saw that same tactic kind of push back onto UW by UIUC. And it just becomes like, hey, which move is everybody going to expect? And taking advantage of those points where you don't get that read right. Like, for example, UIUC thinking that UW was going to come down from the lower path after they got bullied in the upper path so much, and UW committing to that upper path and getting a little bit of a chance. And so I think that is really an indicator of the close matchup between these two teams.
Right. I'll say that both teams also are so aware of the resources that the other team has. Like and they know how to position around them. We saw at one point Danny using the overclock, trying to pick off members of UW. UW know exactly where he is, and the members of UW were just hiding behind that central pillar there, and were able to just hide from the good majority of that overclock, and they were eventually able to actually pick off Danny when he got too eager to try to make the overclock get some value there. That did not translate to a fight win overall, but that was a really good awareness, and you just see all these moments. Drop the Death Blossom, everyone's able to speed away from it. You're going to drop and trade beats, and for the most part, you're going to trade Kitsune rushes. Both teams know how to play the Winston Sojourn matchups.
Absolutely. And it's going to be interesting as we move into map number 2, which is King's Row, which is a hybrid map. And I'm going to be very interested to see how we see those same tactics kind of playing here, because you have a control point that is dynamically moving. And it's going to be very interesting to see how teams are going to be playing around that moving point. I expect you're probably going to see less chances of flanking just because of the nature of these kind of attack defense maps. But it'll be interesting to see, with the problem space narrowed a little bit and only a few opportunities to engage, what's gonna happen here. We obviously, both teams have been running Reaper in the last match. Are we going to see a lot of use of that teleporting to kind of get some picks behind, even given the risk of getting picked off and the team awareness real quick? So it'll be interesting to see as we move into this map.
The Reaper is an important part of the ability to try to control the monkeys in the pure mirror matchup here. University of Illinois, they're currently running the Zarya. And I have to say, I'm not sure that I favor the Zarya in corridors where Winston Bubble is much more able to just bubble off one entire choke point and mitigate so much damage from the enemy team. But it's possible that University of Illinois just feel more comfortable running this. As we see, Danny's probably just going to try to search for a pick. University of Washington, they surely know that this is a possibility. Just hiding from it. And you see the quick swap over to the Sojourn here. as Cancel is already going to try to take an engagement here. He doesn't have any bubbles left though. It's going to need to wait a little bit for some of those to come back here. Billy just takes some space, and Mags is not watching his health pool, and Reaper comes and just ganks him. UW, they're going to be down in tank here.
And a really good save from Marble, using the lamp there to kind of make sure that Cancel would win that fight. As I think Mag's going in there calculating that, hey, I can win this fight, we're both going to get low, not counting on the Baptiste coming in there.
They get the re-engage though. Mags is able to come back in, and Smeeze is going to be able to pick up with the disruptor shot, Silly Phil, and Mags is going to be a lot more able to run free without a Reaper in his face here. But Marble actually does get a pick on the high ground with the amplification matrix, and that's so much damage that's pouring in, and UW, they just have to get out now.
And that is going to be a complete pick as UIUC is going to take that first point. Really good use of the amplification matrix there to really kind of commit that extra damage there. And Cancel's just going to use the ultimate here. Say, no, you're going to have to spawn all the way here. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You are going all the way back to the beginning as UIUC is going to push this point.
Yeah, the members of UW being sent back to jail right there. Gotta have to wait those full terms, wait for those double rolls to come back here. As that's just such a smart decision by Cancel. Just making sure that they do not need to take a fight at the choke point or at the first few archways. They're going to be able to get like about halfway of a second, mostly for free here. Now, we do have a no Kitsune Rush available for Marble, so Karen's going to have the option to do an engagement as University of Illinois is going to do their best to disengage from this.
Overclock getting popped in by Danny, trying to see if they can get any of UW's team down, but it looks like UW is going to kind of commit a solid defense here. Nope, never mind. As soon as I say that, the commentator's curse comes in, and it's a full team kill by UIUC.
Such a smart sound barrier from Thor, knowing that UW's going to try to get aggressive with the Kitsune Rush. But since you don't have a Kitsune Rush of your own to respond, you can drop the beat, and UW, they aren't able to do enough damage through the sound barrier, and Mags just gets completely caught out here. Here comes the next engagement though with Mags. He has a primal to use to stay alive here.
Me using that overclock and trying to get some picks there, but it's not quite connecting and getting a full pick. Silly Phil coming in, taking out 2 and make that 3. All the damage and the tank going down, and that's all the support. And that is another team kill by UIUC with a couple of ults committed.
Yeah. And big shout out to Thor on those eliminations. You saw the all 3 death boss of the elimination had a Lucio assist on them. That means that Thor booped everyone into the range of the Death Blossom. Really big support play, showing that support isn't just all about raw healing output here. And Marble just gets taken out as he casts the Kitsune Rush, and that's gonna be a big denial on the ability to take space here. And wow, that's just such an important pick to get from Smee.
And Mag is kind of going in, kind of making sure everyone's pushed back a little bit. The Zarya is left here up behind, and they're going to try to stagger slowly. And Cancel goes down. The UIUC kind of coming in to see if they can do something, but realizing it's probably better to back off without having their tank present.
Yeah, that being said, Cancel did build the last remnants of their Graviton Surge. And if there's one thing that this comp won't do super well, is respond to a Graviton Surge without the sound barrier. Dallas, he's only at 87%. He might not have the sound barrier soon enough to keep everyone up through the Graviton Surge here. That said, Kitsune Rush out here, and Smee gets standing.
Oh,
no. Goodbye.
Going down the pit.
Oh, actually, still alive.
No, he
teleported back up. No, he's still alive here. But he actually managed to teleport onto the other side of the point, I believe, and managed to stay alive. But that means that that's not enough time for Dallas to get the sound barrier up here. So now there is a response to the Graviton Surge. Mags goes in now to try to get something here. Can he go so low here? That's such a...
Oh,
that's a little too aggressive.
Critical headshot by Danny there. Using that overclock to deny that last little bit to Sneaky, but UW is still going to hold the point here. And this is a bit of a challenging part because there's not a lot of kind of cheeky flanks that can really be done here, like we saw on Lijiang.
Yes. And Cancel is on to Winston now, having used the Graviton Surge, which got countered by the sound barrier. And they're going to look to just essentially play the full mirror here now. As the Kitsune Rush comes from Marble without a response, but it doesn't matter because Sneaky.
Whatever happened there, Smee just turned it on and just confirmed a bunch of different kills, and that is a team kill response by UW, getting a little bit of revenge from what UIUC have been giving them. With another minute and 50 seconds left, UW's going to try to hold this corner here and see what they're going to be able to do.
And the problem with that previous engagement is that, what?
Oh, wow. What a critical pick by Smee, picking off Danny there. That is one Sojourn down. It's uncertain. It looks like it's lit. Oh!
Yeah.
Are we going to be able to confirm on the Reaper there?
Okay, that's a good way to save your Reaper there. And, Silly Phil manages to get two there, but Mags, he's going to pop the Primal to stay alive, and Danny, he's going to become pasted on the wall if he's not careful, but Mags actually isn't able to confirm the kill, and Danny's going to reverse the tables on him, so how the turns have tabled right there.
Turns have tabled indeed. Bubble kind of coming down from Cancel as we kind of go in here. This looks like UIUC is going to try to take advantage of that.
Under 1 minute.
We got the overclock coming in from Danny. Danny looking to kind of get a couple confirms. Bubble is popped on the UW side. Bubble is popped on the UIUC side. Sneaky kind of trying to come in and contest the payload in invuln form. Just camping on that payload, trying to find any way the beat comes in to hold UW and hold the chances of winning this map. 30 seconds left on the clock. Cancel going down right there.
Yeah.
And UW now has 2 damage ultimates ready to go.
What an important sound barrier. That was such a crucial time. What a crucial time for sound barrier to up. And now Sneaky, he's playing the sneaky card right here. Death Blossom ready to drop on everyone, right as they try to get a last touch. With only 10 seconds left, you do have 2 support ultimates to drop to encounter. And Sneaky has actually been found out here. He's not going to get the surprise here, and is not going to get any value from the Death Blossom at all. As Smee goes down to Cancel's dive, he does get traded out, but this is a 3v4 situation. But if UW can hold for just a little longer, but they might not be able to, as the full team wipe comes in. It's just Karen on their lonesome, not going to be able to do anything though. And that is some great awareness from UIUC to not let the Reaper drop on them like that.
Yeah, honestly, they read that like their cards were being, like UW's cards were being shown to them. I mean, just like not without hesitation, just the Lucio hopping up and shooting there, like, yep, no, I see that you're there, Sneaky. You're not as sneaky as you think, and kind of Sneaky looking like they had some difficulty figuring out how to respond to that. Like they want to make use of that ult. They know they need both of those ults to hold that point, but just not being sure how to do it. And that I think that is a. You saw kind of that challenge there of trying to figure out, well, how do you respond when you're being called out?
Yes. Then this like just again, both teams just aware of what resources are available to both sides. Surely there's a call from their ult track. Hey, Sneaky has a Death Blossom. Gotta watch for it. And I don't know if they have tapes available for this kind of stuff. Maybe there's some tapes review from the previous weeks. Know that Sneaky loves to go for these kind of things. Maybe there isn't. Oh, you see that Cancel has opted to play the Winston on the defense, which I think is probably the better pick in this particular situation. But I just want to go back and just, like, yes, you have the frontline engagements, but all of these team fights, if they aren't being won by the Sojourn picks, they're being won on the front line. Whichever monkey is able to play smarter around the opposing Reaper and be able to sustain longer.
Absolutely. We start seeing Cancel trying to kind of get a little bit of picking as UW pushes in. Mags pushing back and trying to kind of split the team and provide a bit of a distraction there. Thor goes down from Smee's railgun. Sillyfield trying to get some picks on Mags, but Mags is a little bit too far out. Mags is hunting for Sillyfield.
No.
Can't
Oh,
find that.
that's the nice. That's actually a really critical pick for Karen to find, because that means that Marble's gonna have a long spawn here, and the UIUC is without their primary healer. So they will not be able to hold the choke point either. In some respects, that got close to the same amount of value as that grab we saw on the offense from UIUC. But now they will be able to at least get a fight here at this first turn here on the streets phase here. Karen, notably, is ahead. Oh, I think he is not quite ready for that. Gets picked off.
And Smee trying to get some damage picked off of some of the front lines. Cancel kind of getting a weird position there. Kind of pops back to be with the rest of the team.
Yeah. Look at
like they're struggling how to figure out how to get through this point here.
Yeah. But Karen's going to have the first Kitsune rush in just a little bit. And UW probably wins the long fight, but you don't need to win the long fight if you just get picks like that. And now, Cancel has no choice but try to go aggro onto support, but everyone's just too mobile, able to escape from it. Oh, that is a nice long-range shot to just get the last bits of Smee's health bar, but it doesn't matter in the end, and UW is able to take the aggressive fight around the choke point, and off the back of that pick from Smee, they're able to just roll over here.
Look at how they were able to commit that without using any ultimates. They basically have a full ultimate stack coming in to this next fight. And now the critical question.
So do UIUC.
The critical question here is going to be again that ult economy. How are they going to be able to use that? How are they going to make effective use of it? And what are we going to see from it? Both Kitsune rushes coming in back and forth. Karen trying to throw in kunais and both beats going off at the same time as well. Woo! Sneaky gets picked off by Danny using the overclock. UW forcing UW to retreat a little bit. Bubbles going out, both bubbles going down, and it looks like UIUC will manage to hold this.
Yes, but importantly, that required the commitment of the overclock, and Smee is going to have one of his own now, and everything else being equal, UW should have a slight advantage here, but they don't even use any ultimates here up until now with the overclock, but that might be the only thing that gets invested in here. Oh! Especially since the Death Blossom just absolutely rolled.
The point-blank railgun shot there critical in keeping the rest of the team alive. And that was a really good critical pick on Sillyfield. Sillyfield being one of the biggest threats to the team in that fight with them bunching around the payload. And UW will get next point and ramp up the time.
This is a time bank for the University of Washington. 4 minutes and 24 to try to finish the map. Sneaky does need to be a little careful here. He's going to get out. Mag's going to come in, make sure that nothing happens. And Danny gets picked by the opposing number. And now there's almost nothing to do with the Death Blossom in their face. No burst damage able to delete Sneaky. And that is a singular ult commitment used to get nearly all the way through to through this point. Danny's had to switch over to the Tracer.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. I think we're going to see kind of an attempt to try to really contest this here. Because UIUC has to hold for a whole 3 minutes and 45 seconds. And it doesn't seem that... It seems that they're getting a little bit worried here. Sillyfield goes down.
Great beat.
We see both bubbles going in. Team's getting ready to commit those ultimates. Try to see if we can win this fight. Cancel goes down. And it's not looking good for UIUC as we have 3 of their players down. Silly and Marble trying to hold on, but it looks like UW will finish this round with a sizable time bank.
Yeah, that is a monstrous advantage here. And the key difference here, I think, is really the Sojourn play here. As before, while the offense round for UIUC, I think it was characterized a little more by those frontline engagements. Here is been a bit of the Smee show. I'll be honest. We might just be watching a living highlight reel. Smee's getting so many important picks onto an ulting Reaper, onto the enemy Sojourn. It's so these are just critical things that you just have to be able to deliver on as the Sojourn player in this composition, and Smee has been able to deliver. And Cancel, he feels a lot of pressure. He doesn't want to take the mirror matchup. Cancel's gonna pick the D.Va here. What do you think of this decision?
I think it's going to be really interesting. So I think I think it seems like UW here is kind of really leaning into the kind of more brawl style that we saw in the last match, in the last week's matchup. Kind of going into this this game, the first game, like they were kind of separated a little bit more, and so it was a little bit difficult. So perhaps the D.Va pick here is going to try to see if they can break up that brawl a little bit more, mitigate some of that damage, and give Danny at least a little bit more room to try to get some picks to kind of match up to where Smee is.
That being said, the one thing that Defense Matrix doesn't do is block the Tesla cannon. And oh, this is a dive, but the Beal almost keeps Danny alive, but that was such a well-orchestrated dive. Danny getting caught out on position. You can't be that aggressive, and now Cancel's gonna get demeched here. This might be the beginning of the end already. UW only needs a single tick.
The single tick going in right there, and UW will take it by the skin of their teeth. We are now 1-1 for our games, and we are going to the legendary third map, which is
yes.
I think it's I don't think, have we seen a third map this season?
No, we have not. All of the matches we've seen so far have been clean 2-0s for the University of Washington, and so we're gonna actually get a really close match here as we head over to our a first of a kind third map here against the UIUC. I will say, to just wrap up King's Row, that that was a kind of the more typical dive that you see that you don't really see a lot in the Winston matchups, but UW were able to spot a moment of opportunity that the Sojourn just got too aggressive, and the entire team is able to dive on down. And the defense matrix just wasn't enough to keep Danny alive.
And it shows why this comp is so popular right now in higher levels of play. Is you have that constant mobility, that ability to quickly move around the map and take advantage of any little exploit that you can find. And I mean, as soon, like you said, as soon as you saw that Lucio kind of coming in and taking out the Sojourn, that was it. There was nothing really that could be done there with one of your biggest damage dealers going away. It's like, well, I guess we're gonna try to throw everything we can onto here and see if it's even possible to hold it at this point.
Right.
What do you think UIUC needs to do to kind of confirm that that push against the UW? Because from my perspective, UIUC did a really good job at holding back UW for a substantial part, like going in and making sure that they had a lot of room to work with, and really kind of keeping the pressure on for that first push. And then UW coming in and basically forcing a 4-minute time bank for UIUC. What do you think was the critical change that needed to happen there?
I think that what UIUC can do a little more is trust themselves more in the Winston-based matchup. Yes, I understand that you feel like it's hard to take the straight mirror matchup, but the Winston, I think, is just such a key staple point for these for the ability to just engage, provide everyone with some kind of passive cover while you're tasering the enemy. I think if UIUC trust themselves a little more, and Danny is such a great Sojourn in their own right, I think that they need to trust that they can take these 1v1s and come out on top.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, we'll see what happens here, as our map 3 is going to be Route 66, a pure payload map. And honestly, this is we were talking just before we went live. This is one of my favorite maps here to work with. The scenery is just really good. The intro music is great, and there are just a lot of really fun, dynamic engagement points that you see in this area here.
Yeah. One thing I'm interested to see is if UW opt to play for the close hold on this map, and right now they're positioning to do so. Play in these like carts over here near spawn and can keep control of the payload early. And what this allows you to do is give yourself an extra fight that you can try to hold first with. And this has been a fairly common strategy in recent games, particularly in the Overwatch League, where this happened in a lot of the final matches. And so interesting to see how UW choose to pick in the game. They don't expect this. They don't expect this at all.
No one expects the train cart, Sneaky. As comes in, Sneaky tries to get a couple cheeky picks, pulls back, realizes not going to get a whole lot. It's a challenge between the Reapers here, and Sneaky's going to win that out. Phil's going to go down. Bubble comes out from the UIUC side, goes down very, very quickly. And it looks like both teams are a little bit of a stalemate. Danny jumping in, trying to get some damage. Sneaky taking advantage of that and going to go try to pick out some of the supports a little bit.
Okay, but speed did go down here, and spawns here are drastically in favor of the UIUC here. Sneaky's going to be able to teleport out of that without getting headshot. That's good. But you see what I mean? You can just get another fight here.
Yeah, absolutely, and that extra spawn advantage is really UIUC is milking every part of that advantage, pushing the card in as they're going on, fighting on top of the point. You're using that sign as a little bit of good cover, while the Lucio kind of gets some healing up. Cancel trying to get some damage in, but it's gonna get picked off by the dive there between Daleth and Mags. Smee is looking to kind of respond. And
actually, I'm going to point out something here real fast. Cancel and Danny have actually swapped roles here. Danny's now the one in control of the tank here, and Cancel's the one picking up the Sojourn here. That I didn't notice that immediately. I think that they might trust their slight alteration of the players here to try to get an advantage. Maybe they think that this configuration of players will allow them to play more aggressively, but they are at a bit of a impasse here without committing to beat to win that last fight.
Absolutely, that's a very critical point, and glad that you called that out. Cancel's getting real low here and trying to kind of survive out. It's going to get booped around a little bit by Mags. Mags going to jump back with that beat coming in and try to help and support the rest of the UW team. Cancel looking to get another pick. Smee goes down, and Danny is going to get taken down. It's going to be a 4v4 fight. Daleth gets taken out by Cancel. Silly Phil looking to kind of inch this point forward, provide a little bit more defense.
And UW make the call to get out of that one, yield a little bit of car progress, but because they held so close to first, this is now going to be their third, essentially, fight to keep control of this point. Silly Phil does have a death blossom, and we've seen him get so much value out of this in the past. As he drops it, Mags goes down, but Smee popped the overclock and completely obliterates him. And oh, that's such a great follow-up there.
Really solid follow-up there. Like, you know, making sure that taking advantage of the fact that you had the bubble ready. You were able to kind of cover a lot of that damage, and you had some positioning to take out Silly Phil as soon as that ult was coming out. Really just well executed, and a good job at not giving into the temptation on the defending side to just dive down onto the card immediately to stop it from going anywhere.
Yeah. Really nice that UW able to follow up on the body shot as well. But as the Mags is going to try to create some space here with the oh dear, Cancel. He goes so low and not able to fight against the with speed, and UW aren't really able to make a whole lot of that fight. I mean, UIUC aren't able to make a whole lot of that fight as actually there's only 10 seconds left on the payload here. And there's a bit of trouble here. Danny's going to need to try to get the touch here. He might need to pop Primal. No, he's able to get the point first. Now he pops with Primal to try and stay alive. He's already only half health, though, facing the entire fury of UW. Support comes in just in time. And now the beat to keep him up even more. But Danny has no more beat already here. And now there's a Kitsune rush to try to provide even more sustain. There's actually a lot of volts here on the side of UIUC, and the last minute engage seems to be working here. Cancel's able to take out two, proving himself to be a great soldier in their own right here. And wow, UIUC
a really incredible
managed.
Clutch. That was very risky for Danny that whole time there. A big thing I think that saved Danny was remembering that you have that half health pack right there. or rather full health pack right there to kind of keep yourself up a little bit, delay while your supports and the rest of your team kind of come in, and just again, that kind of play only comes from communication, being able to have a really, really good awareness.
He did the timing! The timing's there, but UW actually, they think that they can still win this. They commit to B to try to get it engaged, but Silly Phil is able to just race out of all the damage, and UW, they're going to be struggling to keep up with damage output. Smee's going to get countered with his own overclock. There's going to be a straight up overclock here. Neither gets a whole lot, but that's going to buy enough time for the respawn to come in for University of Washington. Both sides are going to be roughly back to being even here.
And Danny jumping in and trying to push all the players back to get some stuff going. Oh, and we have that really the headshot onto Silly Phil and Sneaky being taken out at the same time.
But actually, there have been a few picks of their own from Cancel and Julander, and this isn't 100% over yet. Okay, now it's over. That's the nice headshot that Karen finds onto his opposing number here. But this is actually starting to get a little bit messy here. Both sides are not really sure where they stand, and Sneaky's not going to be able to get out with the teleport right there. And now this has turned from a slight advantage to UW to a pretty sizable advantage for UIUC as the payload is rolling with just about half a minute towards the end of second here. UW, they're probably going to look for one engage to try to stop the payload here and now, but there's lots of support ultimates for the UIUC.
And Danny kind of coming in, and three UW folks being taken, three UW folks taken out, and a whole team kill right there. And that is something that's really interesting about this game, is that it has been a lot more fluid between the team fights. It's hard to tell where one fight ends and the other begins. And you can see that's putting a little bit of a mental strain on both teams. There's not that time to kind of like step out, get your perspective back, and then go back and re-engage. You are kind of going one after the other. What we've seen here is essentially one really, really long team fight and one really, really long set of controlled staggers.
But all the space that Max created, it allows Sneak to get in and dispatch the opposing Sojourn here, and that's gonna enable what should be yep, Sillyfield's not gonna be able to get out of that one. And now we're looking at 1 minute left, and you are looking at not a lot available for UIUC. You're gonna have the overclock, and with a bit of an extended fight, Danny's gonna be able to get the primal up as well. But Sneaky is being sneaky as always. What's he gonna be able to get here? Okay, the Suzu gets forced out, but now here's the beat here, and then the Blossom. He's gonna be forced back by the Primal Rage, but that's already more than enough.
Oh, and who's gonna win this little engagement here? Sneaky looking to try to get Danny down.
Yeah, no, he has reinforcement.
Danny having that reinforcement from Smee. Smee had a rail gun with Danny's name on it and was not gonna allow that that one little pick of vengeance.
Yeah, why take a 1v1 when you can take a 5v1?
Yeah, exactly.
And now we're looking at 8 minutes left, and the Cancel is gonna pop the overclock here, and Mag's gonna go down to it, probably with help from Cancel here, as Smee knows he can't take that 1v1 against the overclock there. They're gonna have to give some space with their tank being down here without their main source of engagement and space creation. And there's actually Julander that takes out Smee's head this time, the 120 headshot being enough here. But now here comes the Kitsune rush here. And Silly Phil is gonna take full advantage of it and take out Carrot. Sneaky falls shortly after. This is a 3v5 here, but with ults available here, Smee's not going to be able to get anything done as his head gets taken clean off by Cancel, though, even with the overclock. And this is going to be probably 3 points here in a last-minute overtime push. The few respawns are coming in fast, but they're going to be swiftly dispatched.
UIUC, a little bit of a fan of those last-minute overtime clutches. Really doing a great job at coordinating and using the pressure of the clock to really kind of push forward and make those commitments that they need. I think something that's gonna be interesting is I mean, like when we saw the other position on King's Row, it seemed very, very close, and then UW kind of came in and said, "Hey, here's 4 minutes for us. Why don't you try next?" So it'll be interesting to see how the response goes here. But I think particularly with the switch between Cancel and Danny, we'll see if they're going to maintain that switch up. But certainly very close match, and I think using that kind of mental fatigue by both teams, I think is a very, very it's not a play that you typically see, and kind of drawing out some of those engagements, because drawing out engagements is very, very difficult because you have to rely on not necessarily being at 5v5 all the time.
That being said, being able to get through the entirety of Route 66 is a very good thing for UIUC, and UW is going to need to try to push the payload all the way through if they want a chance to win this map here. Remember, this is the map 3, the deciding map here. He's going to start on the Hanzo. This is probably just to check out the train cards, get a Sonic Arrow up there. I imagine he's going to be swapping back to the Sojourn real soon here.
Yeah, no, they don't want to have the same trick pulled against them, but Danny doesn't get found out and is going to start getting a couple of shot blasts over at least onto Dallas, seeing if they can try to pick off and make this fight a little bit easier. Silly Phil also being up there trying to get some
here,
stuff.
Though.
Bubble gets
That's
taken out
be
very, very quickly. It's me trying to get some pokes on, and with Mags kind of diving in to try to pull the tanks back. That seems to work out in UW's favor, and UW's going to start making some progress on the point. Sneaky looking to get some little pokes from the cave here.
Yeah.
UIUC deciding it's better to just push the fight back to the gas station here.
Here comes the dive from the both sides are kind of onto Big Earls. Neither side gets picks, and it's more just trading of damage here. Importantly, Zoolander is just a little bit ahead on that Kitsune rush here, and if he can get that pop first, that might be a win one team fight for. Oh well, never mind. Danny gets caught out with no health here, and without a tank. Well,
the long-range shot from Mags on Cancel, and Sneaky and Karen taking out their respective opposition. That is likely going to be a decisive first point, unless UIUC can come in here and give a solid contest right at the end there.
Well, I think that they actually have enough time to get a full regroup here. Yeah, they have more enough time, and we have both Kitsune rushes online here. But UW, they're interested in taking a fast fight here. Try to deny the payload at all, and the beat to follow up on both sides here. Primal Rage is also popped here. Thor falls so low, he's just hanging onto a thread, wall riding up above. He's gonna stay alive though, and Cancel gets kicked out of his ultimate by Smee. And now he's gonna respond with the ultimate of his own, and okay, there we go.
He's popping off there, holy!
That's 3.
Incredible defensive ult by Sneaky there. Just using that, using the fact that he has that extra little boost from the Kitsune rush to make sure that point is clear, and then Smee getting into position and just having fun with right clicks. Really, just incredible defense there.
That being said, UW burned all 5 ultimates to get that last checkpoint, and Silly Phil has a blossom. We've seen just how.
Oh goodness! Cancel getting taken mid-air by Smee there. UIUC looking to find some big picks off here.
Oh, UW knew that was coming.
Silly being read like a book there, and you see the bubble going down and the immediate pickoff by Smee. Zoolander getting trickled out from there, and UW's going to keep on pushing, and UIUC is going to gather together to try to get ready to contest point number 2.
It was so crucial that Mags was able to drop the bubble for the Death Blossom and deny the value, give enough time for the UW to turn and then destroy the Death Blossom there. But Sneaky gets taken out by Cancel, Cancel getting his moment in the sunlight as Danny does not fall crucially. Fell so very, very low that UW wasn't able to finish the job. And now UW is going to be probably has to concede this push for the time being, as they're just they're trapped in a corner. Danny gets 2. That's a very nice Primal Rage.
Well, UW is going to be coming back here with 4 ults, it looks like, and they have a lot to work with here. It's going to be interesting to see how they decide to use these different ones. I mean, you saw that first fight, UW decided to just commit all of the ults to just kind of almost kind of guarantee that they're going to get that point. Looks like UW is going to flank in a little brawl all the way around the back there and try to catch UIUC off guard.
And actually, if UW are able to start pushing the point, this might pose a bit of a problem here, as the Kitsune rushes now come out on both sides here, and the B trade as well. The UIUC does have the second B, but Smee now pops the death. So it's Sneaky pops the death blast from Smee pops the overclock and picks up Thor. There we go. This should be it again, a massive commitment of ultimates, but this time, but just like before, I should say, is going to net them probably the second point here.
Yeah, and UW here, I think, just trying to kind of guarantee that that really, really aggressive finish, because they know that UIUC is finished. They want to come back with as much on the time bank as they can, because once that card starts moving, and as long as UIUC is on it, they're going to have that overtime push, and so you want to have that time bank in your advantage to really structure your fights more, an advantage that UIUC currently doesn't have.
Yeah. Sneaky does need to be a little bit careful here. Can't stay up there forever. Does get out with the help of the Rage Form and Karen bumping heals into him. And Smee, Smee gets the headshot to cancel. This is big. There's not too much available for UIUC. They need to try to get out. Danny has to pop the Primal to stay alive there. But Silly Phil does get the pick onto Sneaky, but Mags gets a counter frag. And the tank is just probably the role you'd rather have here in this situation. The ability to create... Okay, it's a Smee show. Let's just admit it. It's the Smee show. There's nothing that
going down.
Mags
is making sure that he's Mags is making sure that they are the co-star here in this show here. Kind of getting really, really aggressive, trying to take out the Zarya. Goes down, and there is no tank left to contest this fight. And there are just, UW isn't even going to let them get out of spawn. They said, nope, you can stay there, camp there.
Okay.
Get yourself comfortable under the blankets in the bed.
There's 3 ults here.
Phil not having any of it, trying to get onto there. We have the Kitsune rush coming in from UIUC. Mags
huge
and the beat coming down, trying to push everybody off the point and really show that this point belongs to UW. No matter how much they want to try, Danny falls. Mags continuing to push a little bit, and that is going to be a massive 2 minutes and 16 seconds in the favor of UW. And again, almost kind of a repeat here in a lot of ways. So UIUC will have a minute to get this first push in for maybe like a fight and a half worth of defending. But this looks like it's going to be a bit of a tough game for UIUC to kind of climb uphill from.
Yeah, with the time disparity being as it is, and UW, they're very willing to take these kind of long fights, maybe even a few fight losses, in order to build their ult banks. And we see just how successful UW have been when ultimates are invested, and that allowed them to capture point A, allowed them to capture point B, and then they kind of just snowballed in that final point. The members of UIUC just kept getting caught out, which meant that they just couldn't get a good re-engage, even though they had 3 ultimates left to try to defend point C. The UW advantage was just too much at that point. And now there's only a minute on the clock in order to get the payload as far as UIUC can.
All right, Nelson, over or under? Is Sneaky going to get picked off here for being a little too sneaky? Are they going to think he's up there?
They're going to use a Sonic Arrow and just check in. They know there are no surprises this time. This is the engagement you probably expect. Danny actually falls quite low from that, taking a lot of fire from Sneaky. He's going to be able to get out, though, drop back down. And Danny's just perpetually low here. But that means that Zoolander is going to be able to get a lot of ultimate percent towards his Death Blossom. Sneaky's going to need to get out of that one.
And UW kind of playing a little careful here, because knowing that they have the time advantage on their side, not wanting to contest too much, but also not wanting
20
to
seconds.
lose. They're not wanting to lose all of their players here. SME kind of throwing in their ball there to try to see if they can get some damage picks off there. The bubble in an inopportune position from Danny. Nobody's really out there. Is more kind of trying to distract a little bit and get a little bit of damage off. Railgun shot comes in, not really
Karen's so
anything
far
done there.
ahead.
Danny diving in, trying to get some action there. Danny's gonna go down from the Sojourn Railgun there.
And now overtime's here. They need to try to hold this, but Karen's gonna have the Kitsune rush here, and they're just gonna be completely forced off. There's no Kitsune rush in response. Sillyfield's not gonna be able to survive on his own, and that is just gonna be it. Thor doesn't even get the sound barrier off. Wow.
Wow, what a plan that came together there. Just really well executed, really well timed, waiting for that overtime to really just invest a lot of those ults and say, this is going to be our big time to do it. If we don't invest it now, we need to secure it. And like just very, very well done in terms of execution there. SME being very careful to make sure that that Danny doesn't get too close to the back line of the team, and making sure that they can commit to ensuring that Danny's not going to be a problem.
Danny was just perpetually low a lot of that, and for a moment I thought that meant that Zoolander was going to be able to get a lot of ultimate percent, but eventually Danny just took too much damage, and that's just so punishing in the overtime push. UW actually did really well to draw out that fight and just drain the entire minute off the time bank of UIUC, which meant that there was just no possibility at all of a second fight here. And now UW, there's no way, right? Sneaky doesn't actually play the Bastion here.
You know,
I don't.
I would want to see a cheeky Bastion from Sneaky. I don't think it looks like we're not going to as Sneaky goes back to the breaker. But it's fun to get a little bit of a tease every so often. The legendary Bastion. And yes, Sneaky, I am reading the chat right now. You don't think I am, but I am. As we kind of go in here, UIUC playing a little bit more conservatively, not wanting to overinvest here and get picked off too early. Dalith and Thor having a little bit of a sliding fight here up on the on the rocks, as Dalith has the high ground and says, "You're not going to be any match for my wall riding skills."
They're so close already. Who's gonna touch? Max is he gonna be able to get out here? Oh, the trade comes in though, but Smee gets Thor with the disruptor shot, and this is a man-up advantage for University of Washington. SB is gonna completely gank cancel. That should be edge here. There's just no one left alive here. Both Danny and Zoolander go down, and that is gonna be it. UW wins a close one versus UIUC.
Absolutely incredible play by both teams there. It was honestly probably like just the fact that that game was so close, going back and forth between these two teams. And it seems like UIUC just had just a little bit of difficulty with the payload format, and like on this kind of on the kind of King of the Hill style maps, they seem to be a lot better at kind of reading those separate engagements. But as soon as the engagements started blending together, which I think UIUC was pushing a little bit, that helped out. But they kind of got called on their own game, as you saw kind of the strategy fatigue, more or less, from both teams, kind of grinding them down mentally. And you saw like a little less control, a little uncertainty kind of coming in, and you can see kind of where some of that broke down.
Yes. Now we're gonna send this over to a break. It's been a long hour already, and we still have one more game to go. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Today, we have a doubleheader match. We just saw UIUC against UW, UW winning 2-1. And now we're going to be seeing UW versus the Savannah College of Art and Design. And before we go, quick reminder that Tuesday, November 8th, that is the deadline to get your ballots in for this election cycle. College-age students are the least represented in most elections in the United States, and your voice matters. You can drop off your ballot by 8 p.m. on Tuesday at the voter drop box in front of Schmitz Hall. And if you do not have one of the voter pamphlets here, you can go to sos.wa.gov to go to the Secretary of State website to get information about all the candidates and initiatives happening, and get the unbiased, get the straight statements and assessments from the state itself. Now, with that being said, we're going to be going into the next set of games. I am Tariq, also known as Cheater. Nelson Pandabear was here earlier, but I'm going to be holding down the fort for this last set of games. And we're going to be starting off on this match with Lijiang Tower. Now, Lijiang Tower, again, one of those King of the Hill style maps where you have up to three, the kind of best 2 of 3. And we're going to want to see here what we saw. Something we saw a lot in the first game with UIUC is that kind of the strategic battle of the minds between UW and UIUC. And it's going to be interesting to see if we see some of that play into this this matchup between, I guess we'll call it SCAD. Yeah, SCAD and UW. So without further ado, let's transition into the map. And one of the things, we're going to start off on the interior, the tower map here. And so this is a little bit more closed, a little bit more cut off than some of the other points that you see on Lijiang Tower. And so taking advantage of those different passageways and corridors and really funneling in some of the fights here. And I think this will kind of set up to see what we capture in these different fights. SCAD coming in using the Zarya as opposed to the Winston. And so we'll see how that comes out. Shiz coming in, trying to get some picks off here, looking to flank, but not quite sure if they want to do that full flank there. Smee getting cut off from the rest of the team, and looks like they're going to be punished for that. Smee is going to go down. Daleth coming in to try to save, and barely makes it back with Karen providing him the last support. Karen is going to be picked off with some attacking from Shiz, but it looks like they're mostly going to stand. Nope, I stand corrected. Karen is going to go down. Mags is going to go down. And SCAD is going to kind of go in and try to punish everyone from trying to rescue their friend here. And SCAD will take the first point here. That was a critical mistake, I think, from Smee there. Kind of losing that connection with the rest of the team, and the rest of the team having to pull back and scattering in terms of how they were going to go forward with it. And it was really, really kind of difficult to figure out what was an option there, and playing right into SCAD's hands there. Mags getting picked off by Shiz there, and is going to go down along with Karen. And it's not looking good for UW here. UW has got down a whole team. And that's going to be a team kill for SCAD there. Not really able to recover after that first fight there at this point. SCAD is just not willing to give UW any room to even get out of spawn at this point. Yaksha trying to get some picks out from behind cover. Mags coming in with the Orisa and just trying to get as much damage in as possible. We see the Graviton Surge coming in, not really anything coming from it. The supports go down, and almost everyone goes down again, and it's basically going to be a team kill, save for Sneaky warping back into the spawn there. It's a very difficult situation for UW right now. Like, they're not even able to push out a spawn at this point. It is causing a lot of problems for them. We have about equal sets on the ult. Shiz is going to come in, is going to pop and get 4 kills. Make that 5. A full team kill pulled by Shiz. Shiz showing absolutely no mercy on this game here. UW seeming to struggle to figure out how to actually respond to this. Dania is getting a little bit low, but all the supports maintaining some good cover. We see Mags coming in. Smee is getting a little bit low. You get the beat and the overclock coming in from SCAD. And that is 2 kind of going down. Yaksha getting really, really low here. Mags is down. And that is going to be the final response that UW was looking for right in the nick of overtime. And that was very challenging because that is a very defensively advantageous position for SCAD there, kind of blocking off there, and UW just could not get the read on where SCAD's positioning was, and that caused a lot of difficulty and a lot of challenges for them. Sneaky trying to get some small picks off, nearly gets Donnie, but Donnie manages to get just the support that they need to heal up from. We see the famed Orisa ult coming in, getting 2 confirmed kills with that, and trying to push back the rest of the team. Mags is going to go down though. Not quite enough healing. The Kitsune coming in, double Kitsune is coming in, trying to figure out if they can confirm, SCAD can confirm this fight and make it a 0-1 for them. And it looks like Donnie at 100% charge is really investing whatever they can to commit that. Shiz is getting really low, switching over to Soldier, which I didn't even notice at this point. And UW still maintaining a good hold there. Smee is going to get picked off by Donnie with that 100% charge. There is no telling what damage could be done. Sneaky trying to go in for the Kirikou. Getting really low, and looks like it's going to be picked off there. And we see Mags switching over to Hamster. Really just not sure what to do there. Kind of fights all over the place and figure out how do you respond to this team, because once it gets to that, both teams trying to run that initial meta and see who can do it better. And at that point, you're just kind of trying to figure out what is the biggest threat at that point, what am I going to counter, and how can I most effectively do that. Mags seems to think that a Reinhardt might be the answer there, unless they are just having fun in spawn there. Donnie is going to be doing a D.Va here, and because we are out in very open, the kind of open pagoda part of the map, which means lots of opportunities to get environmental kills, lots of opportunities to knock people off as we go in to the second map here. Like a little teleport there. Mags doesn't quite get there, so he's gonna have to go through the old-fashioned way. We actually do have the Sneaky Bastion coming out, but it's not gonna last for very long as Sneaky gets picked off there. Mags really trying to do anything to survive against the Reaper there, but it's gonna be tough to do that solo with only Kiriko keeping him up fairly. Shiz looking to try to see if there's any other UW players that they can punish. Getting super low and just kind of waiting for that healing and waiting for that support to come in. UW still wanting to do something with the Bastion there. Let's see if they can get some action. Smee is going to take out Shiz there, and that's going to be a huge pick. Taking Yaksha, that's also going to be a massive pick. All the damage healers, all the damage players on the SCAD side going down. And Doja also going down, and UW is going to kind of take a response and keeping SCAD at 21% of the capture here, trying to keep control of this bridge. Sneaky just letting the turret form get throwing as much damage into the direction of the SCAD spawn as they can. Me keeping some good distance here, avoiding to try to get picked like last time. Kind of seem to learn the lesson from the first map. And really just doing what they can to try to resist it. Mag's kind of waiting to kind of get some hammer push. We have the Donnie push in and the Kitsune. Sneaky trying to get some damage in here and really cause as many problems as they can. Going into the Kitsune bubble, getting a little bit of a higher rate of fire. Reaper getting saved by the invuln grenade. And Sneaky just getting little bits of picks here and there and just causing problems. And really, this is honestly, this is what I was waiting for. I was waiting to see the Sneaky play coming in here and coming in with the Bastion and seeing the return of Bastion coming into this. And it seems to be working out amazingly well for them. UW has a great set of ult advantages, but SCAD is not very far behind there. Overclock is going to be pushed by Smee as a whole bunch of, as basically SCAD uses almost all of their ultimates. If I'm saying correctly, Yaksha and Shiz still have theirs. Sneaky, it looks like they're Sneaky not able to try to quite get Donnie out from there. But UW still has the point for now, and Mags is doing a banger job at keeping that contested, just swinging that hammer round and round, trying to get the Lucio right out of the reach, absolutely denying the Reaper ultimate, and Reaper not able to really respond to that. A little shaking head saying, nope, not today, as Mags buys just enough time for the entire team come in, and is it going to be charged off the point? Nope, we're going to hit into the rock there, and Donnie is going to say, nope, I'm going to back off of this here. I am not facing a big man with a hammer at this time. UW clocking up to 75%, doing a fantastic job at holding this here. The Bastion pick actually working out really well in their favor here and getting that extra little bit of damage to punish some players that might be slightly out of position. Donnie coming onto the point, trying to contest a little bit and buy some room for Shiz to get some damage in. Kitsune comes in, and we see Yaksha trying to come in with the overclock and trying to get some confirms here, but Mags is just not gonna let anybody have a good time today. Throwing as much damage from that hammer as they can onto the point. Smee coming in with the overclock, confirming the kill on the Lucio, and confirming that full capture, but D.Va is going to make sure that that doesn't happen. Mags bullying the D.Va off the point, but it was enough to allow... Oh, goodness. Shiz trying to come in with the Genji and just gets solo hammered down. And we have a little charge here, and that is going to be a secure for UW. We are now 1-on-1 on Lijiang Tower. What we saw here is a really good example of being able to respond well to a comp that you're struggling against. What we saw here is that SCAD is having a lot of fun from the beginning, figuring out how to kind of keep UW contained, and UW rapidly trying out a couple of different comps to really see if they can kind of push back against those key players. Mag switching to Reinhardt here was enough to kind of get a little bit of knockback and widespread of damage, and resist some of the really good ults that Shiz has been bringing in. Aaron getting a critical pick off Yaksha right there with the kunai. Mags going all the way back to spawn. Looks like we might get a little bit of a change. Mag's going to be switching over to a different tank, going to a D.Va to kind of try to match things there, and looks like UW being a little bit unsure about what kind of tank they need right now. Both teams a little hesitant to engage right now, and SCAD trying to go get onto the point. SCAD will take the first capture and start ticking up the timer. Sombra coming in here and trying to stop Smee, but Smee responds very quickly and maintains some of their abilities there. Donnie, Yaksha gets taken out by Sneaky here as the Bastion, and we are seeing Donnie trying to kind of get in some pushing, ends up pushing Daleth off, so they are one support hero down. Shiz going down as Genji. Kabima is also going down from Sneaky. Sneaky is just having fun and making a bunch of problems for SCAD with the Bastion play, and kind of relying on the fact that nobody was really expecting that. And you know, the Bastion seems to be working really well for them. It's kind of one of those things where it's, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yaksha looking around back, trying to get some sneaky hacks off there and kind of disable some stuff. Sneaky getting some damage in, but is going to be pinned down very, very quickly. Donnie getting a little bit of support there. Oh, and there goes Daleth and Smee. And it looks like SCAD is going to kind of get that team out. Tell them they're no longer welcome here on this point. And it is ours now. Switch from Yaksha switching over to the Sombra. And Shiz moving over to the Genji is really kind of directly responding to that additional damage output that is going to be coming in. Disabling a lot of those abilities with the mass hack right there. Donnie trying to get some confirms out there, but is having a little bit of difficulty. Sneaky's going to go down here. Donnie ready with an explosives and is going to pop it right there, right in front of the spawn, and see if it's going to be answered. Nothing comes in there. Team a little bit split. Smee coming in with the overclock, gets hacked, but does not finish off that overclock. We have Shiz coming in with the blade, trying to get some work done. Manages to get Karen, and then goes down. And that's both damage players on the SCAD side going down. Sneaky trying to get some work in, ends up getting eliminated. But yeah, that's going to be a finish for that push here. UW has one more chance to take this all back, and it is a Lucio. It is Daleth versus a D.Va, the showdown that you've been waiting for. Some kind of little bits of action here and there. The rest of the team comes to join in and provide support for this fight. Daleth goes out to try to get the Ana and to reduce that damage and that help there. And it looks like it might be at the expense of some of their teammates. It's going to be a very light fight between these damage dealers with both the tanks being down. Sneaky coming in with the blade. That Shiz going down in the 1v1 against the ninjas. Donnie back in with the D.Va, looking to get some down. The ult's going in, and that is almost going to get the entire team off the point. But UW pays with a support and a tank there. Katsune comes in, hopefully to try to save things, but it's not going to be enough, as SCAD is going to take that point and take the first game. Really kind of incredible set of plays here, and I think a bit of a difference from what you see from the traditional kind of comps that we've seen in the competitive metas. You saw both teams trying to kind of do the standard Overwatch comp, Overwatch League comp with kind of instead of a Winston using a Zarya, SCAD blocking out UW significantly and forcing UW to really think about what comp are we actually going to run? What are we actually going to do to counter this? And how is that going to play into team awareness? And I think that's going to be critical as we go into this next map. The next map we have is, again, King's Row here. And you've heard it here first. It is a hybrid map. And we're going to see what will actually happen here. Is UW going to be able to respond to the rather intense action coming in from the SCAD side and respond to some of those rapidly changing picks? I mean, it was changing so fast, I couldn't even keep track of it myself. 1 minute I look and we have a D.Va on the team. The next moment, it's a Reinhardt and a Hammond. And so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here. UW starting out on the attack. Possibly a Reinhardt Bastion again? A throwback to the Overwatch 1 days, where Bastion could just be in turret form for a limited period of time. Who knows? But we're about to find out here as the match gets started. Oh, Karen gets picked off significantly going in here. Sneaky kind of coming in, trying to get some damage out. Look for where are there going to be some good points, and going to try to punish Donnie there, but is going to get punished by Yaksha there, who is having absolutely none of it right now. Mag's going down. Smee is going to go down, and SCAD just saying we're not going to have any of those Bastion shenanigans here again. You're going to have to try that again. But Yaksha being a very critical point here and finding those holes where they can exploit action with UW's team and just take advantage of them, right? Bastion doesn't have a lot of mobility. That works really well for Yaksha because it's basically just a point-and-click adventure with the railgun here. Donnie going in to try to get a little bit more on picks here, but Shiz is going to go down, so SCAD is going to back off. Yaksha goes down from the charge. Smee is going to finish off Donnie and Kabimas. And it looks like UW will start capturing this point and start moving it down. SCAD getting ready, assembling for a first resistance here. It looks like we're going to see a switch over to Ana by Doja to try to get a little bit more safe distance healing with how brawly UW gets in their play and in their comps. Mags will go up there and try to clear out that upper section, or at least scare everybody off there. And it's gonna be really critical to get those necessary picks here. We have two damage players that are very good at kind of more flanking action. It's gonna be interesting to see. Smee ends up getting a little bit of a hack there, that hack on Daleth there. Sorry, Yaksha gets a hack on Daleth there. Kabimas goes down very early. That's not going to look very good for Savannah College. The ult's kind of coming in from Donnie, and it's going to confirm the kill on Smee. And UW is going to have to take time to do that reset. UW has all of their ultimates. Kitsune Rush just pushed in. Sneaky just really trying to push in some of that action there. And UW is just really just holding very well against any of the action that's happening from Savannah College. And I think one of the challenges here is that Savannah College is running more flanking heroes that feel a little bit more squishy in terms of what they can do. We have the Bastion ult coming in, putting a line of fire between the point and the destination. Sneaky gets taken down by Shiz with the blade coming in. Smee gets taken out. All the damage here is going down. That's a double kill right there. And Smee and Shiz showing in that that two people can play this game, and you're not the only one that's going to have fun here. And that Mags going down, Sneaky trying to respond in by playing Genji as well, and see what we can find here. Let's see if we're going to have the showdown between the Cyber Ninjas. Looking for tiny little picks here and there. Yaksha has that hack ready, and that hack is coming right there. Smee goes down almost immediately, and Sneaky gets taken down. Dalith goes down. Shiz in the back line trying to take out, gets that extra help getting Karen down. And Mags is going to be out of mech and switching over to Zarya. Let's see what can be done here. But really just critical picks and teaming up from Yaksha, focusing on, and this is where good communication comes in, being able to focus on those low damage players. Yaksha, as a Sombra, being able to see who the low damage players are and communicate that over to Shiz, who can take action from there. Smee coming in with the railgun, looking to get some critical picks, isn't able to quite confirm onto the Lucio there. Here's the Sombra behind, Karine gets hacked. We have the Diva bomb coming in, it's gonna get Karine. And that's gonna be a bit of a challenge there for UW with one of their Mags going down as well. Smee going down, and UW is gonna have to reset for this push. Savannah College is just not giving up any ground and making themselves as big of a problem against UW as they can. Absolutely incredible performance by Savannah College here, really taking full advantage of the way that their ults play together. We have a bunch of ults kind of coming in, and almost all the ults invested by both teams here. Smag Sneaky going down, and it looks like, yep, Savannah College is gonna win that fight here. Both teams burning all of their ults in this fight, trying to keep that resistance here. Smee and Dalith getting an ult build up, Mags not far behind. We'll see what they're able to do here, but with two damage players that are primarily flanking, it's going to be really difficult to get that confirmation that they want. And Mags here has to be very, very careful of Donnie. Make sure that the Graviton Surge doesn't get eaten up. Donnie, it looks like they are really expecting that to come in, and so it's a matter of looking for that right time. Mags looking back to make sure that there's no Sombra flanking happening here. Karine is hacked right now, so does not have that biotic grenade to kind of help them out here. The mass hack coming in there. UW trying to make some work done with that. Donnie goes down, and there goes the second point there. UW finding that critical opening that they needed in those last 30 seconds here. And it looks like, yes, that will be a full push. Another minute and 50 seconds on the clock here to try to see what can be done. Smee kind of looking around, trying to see what they can do with Sombra and try to respond to the Sombra play from Yaksha. Donnie kind of coming in, trying to cause some problems. Mags gets hacked. The beat goes down to kind of prevent that. We have the Graviton Surge coming in, taking in two, but Mags goes down. But those are some significant picks. Oh, that's a really good pick by Smee, getting that hack there and quickly mowing down Kabimas. And still, we're getting some progress on that point and on that push there. The hacking of the health packs there, decreasing their cooldown, decreasing their respawn time, and making it so that they respawn very quickly. We have Shiz coming in with the blade, making that two down. Mags and Mag's mech going down here. Shiz making themselves a massive problem here. Yaksha looks like moving over to the Sojourn, not running that Sombra that was working reasonably well for them. Donnie being a little bit cheeky there, kind of sneaking in behind, and it looks like they're gonna have a little bit of a surprise on there. Sneaky coming in with the blade, taking down the Ana, taking down the Genji. Yaksha goes down from a jump from Mag. Donnie goes down, and we're gonna see a sneaky team kill right there. Absolutely incredible performance. Donnie looks like they were hoping there to kind of get a little bit of a cheeky jump in and kind of take the team by surprise, but it didn't quite work out for them. This is going to be their last chance to really hold that back as we start going into overtime for this push. Sneaky really, really low, but manages to get a Donnie and a Shiz with the assistance from Smee there, getting that last little bit of trickle damage in. Sneaky keeping up. Mags using that electricity to kind of shock people off the point. Nobody coming in to contest with 3 people on the point here. We have a hack coming in that's not able to pop off really well. And UW is going to push this in completely uncontested. And in the last moments, UW is going to take that point against any of the wishes of Savannah College here. Really just incredible play by both teams here. That Sombra coming in, and we haven't seen a lot of Sombra play here. The big win that Sombra gets you is being able to identify which players are low and being able to hack their abilities so they can't use some of those critical ones. Big one, for example, hacking the Genji means the Genji can't use that deflect. And that is going to be critical when you have a team that is relying so much on those abilities. You saw that switch off later, kind of not getting as much usefulness from that. And so we're going to see what do the teams decide to do in this next part. Shiz looking to maybe get a little bit of that initial snipe pick, but UW kind of going for the much more traditional Overwatch League comp with the Sojourn, Reaper, Lucio, Kiriko, and Zarya. Donnie is picking Roadhog. We have not seen a lot of Roadhog come in here. Roadhog having that self-healing, having that ability to kind of hook players into place, especially for close range damage. But very interesting to see. I think if we see that, we'll probably expect Shiz to switch over to a Sombra to kind of get those close confirms. I take it back. It looks like Donnie's going to stay onto this area here. Shiz looking for something, but looks like nobody's going to come out for a cheeky peek here. UW playing very conservatively, letting Savannah College come in very, very deep, and waiting to get some good confirmed kills there. Shiz is going to go down from a very good sliding into the DMs through the hotel there. And it looks like Savannah College is going to take the message and back off for just a little bit. And Sneaky looking to kind of confirm that. Savannah College coming back, trying to catch both teams kind of not fully contesting around that corner of the hotel there, but Sneaky is now going to kind of come in and try to confirm a kill off Donnie. Donnie is getting the support that they need from the Lucio, and it's not going to quite go away yet. Shiz was trying to switch back over to the Widowmaker to try to get some picks. Not really getting anything from that, so we're seeing Shiz back on the Reaper there. Sneaky trying to get some damage in. Mags providing that support with the bubble there, getting themselves to an 80% charge to really get that damage coming in. We have 2 very, very heavily charged Zaryas coming into contact with each other. We have a Kitsune coming in from UW to try to boost some of that damage and some of that rate of fire. Donnie and Yaksha go down. Shiz goes down. And it's going to force a reset for Savannah College. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left on the clock here for Savannah College's first push onto this point. Here we go, kind of coming in from Doja, moving a little bit, trying to get some cheeky peeks with that ability to quickly escape. I mean, why not? Donnie coming in with a massive Graviton Surge. Snee going down. Mags going down. And the Kitsune Rush making that fire coming in very, very quick. Dalek goes down. And they're going to try to go and confirm this. They want to get a full team kill. They want to finish off UW before they even have a chance to reset. Korean and Sneaky go down. And that might as well be a team kill. It's going to be pretty much a full reset there. They do not want to let them kind of start from that pushing point there. And Savannah College is going to take that 4 minutes, 4 seconds for this next push. Savannah College ready with that overclock and with the beats. Sneaky kind of trying to move around and see what they can do. Yaksha getting little picks here and there. Tried to get the right click onto one of the low players, but didn't quite do that. I believe that was Lucio. Sneaky coming in with the Reaper ult. Manages to pick one, but it's not quite enough to get the Savannah College team to pull back fully. It looks like both teams are going to kind of pick back and forth here and see if who's going to give a little bit. She's going to come in, kind of tickle the point a little bit, push it through that hallway just a little bit more. Mags coming in, throwing in the ultimate. Beat comes down. Reaper ult comes in. We see a bunch of ults being invested here by both teams. Yaksha holding on to that ult for now. Kareem goes down. And it looks like Savannah College is going to ultimately win this fight here. And it's going to be continuing to progress this point forward. UW waiting to kind of regroup, kind of get this push in. Giving a lot of charge to Donnie here. Donnie at 90% charge will give you a lot of damage that they're going to have to worry about, and Donnie making himself everybody else's problem. Shiz coming in, trying to get a little bit of some cheeky damage there. The Kitsune coming in, trying to give a little bit of support for that damage there. Shiz realizing that everyone knows that they're there, decides to back off for a little bit. Donnie ends up going down from the right click from Smee. And it looks like UW will hold this for a little bit longer. It's not going to quite be as easy of a push as Savannah College hoped it would be. 2 minutes left, almost 100 meters, right around the corner of the second point here. And we'll see what ends up happening here. We're seeing a lot of flanking action kind of coming through. They're really trying to test the awareness of the different teams here. Kitsune Rush is going to be coming in. Donnie pushing in, using that high-level charge, and trying to see if they can get some action there. 100% charge there. Donnie getting really picked off, but getting a lot of healing from Doja and Kavimas. And that's going to be an instant ult being used. All of UW captured into that ult. And that is going to be a couple of very critical picks. All the damage here is on the UW side gone. Mags trying to hold on for dear life, but it's not going to work out for them. Almost just the instant use of Graviton Surge there. Really, really working in the favor of Savannah College. Being able to just quickly capture that point without even really, like, making an indication. Making some just fantastic, almost 50 meters of progress here. Donnie looking to kind of get something out here. Dala trying to get little peeks here and there. Get some healing by just kind of elevating themselves a little bit. And we'll see what ends up happening. Oh, and is that going to be a little boop that we see there? Not quite enough to kill. The beat comes down. Nice little pop-off from Dala. Try to get the high ground cleared up a little bit. For Shiz coming in. We have the Graviton Surge coming in from UW. Kitsune coming in to follow up on it. Counter Kitsune coming in from Savannah College. The Reaper ult coming in. It is a mess of ultimates here all over the place. And it looks like at the end, Savannah College is going to win that, and nobody can really contest that. The pop from Yaksha right into the spawn there to try to cause problems for them. This is going to be a very difficult fight. UW basically has no time to try to push this here. And so we will have to see what happens. Really incredible performance by Savannah College here, both in terms of getting very good use of each of the ultimates that are kind of coming in, and ensuring that they are able to say to UW, whatever you can do, I can do better, and matching that head on. Savannah College gonna have the first push here. Now with UW having 0 seconds left on the clock, Savannah College just needs to get 1 tick here. They just need to get 1 tick to show that they are going to be the team that takes home this game today. And it looks like both teams are going to go with traditional comps. UW is going to really have to watch out for Donnie. Donnie there is pretty much getting all that damage boost in, and it's pretty much uncontested. And Mags is having some difficulty kind of coming up and meeting the moment when it comes to that Zarya 1v1. And so we will see what happens. 1 minute, 30 seconds on the clock here to get a third of the point, 1 tick. Fighting around the hotel again. Yaksha trying to get some little points here. Savannah College getting on the point early. Not really a lot of contesting action here. UW coming back here despite... And UW is just going to come in and very quickly clear that out. That's really just incredible. It turned as quickly as it started there. Savannah College looks like they're going to try to run that same comp here. 60 seconds left. Sneaky looking around to try to see what they can do here. Getting little peeks here. Avoid feeding the Zarya, but it's going to be a difficult challenge as... Oh, Sneaky running super, super low here. Mags and Karen go down. Smee goes down. It's going to be a Sneaky or nothing thing, but Sneaky is also going to go down, and it looks like Savannah College is going to take this for themselves. And that is going to be a 2-0 win for Savannah College. Absolutely incredible performance by both teams. And that was the thing that you see in that game that you haven't really seen in a lot of the other games is that just the being able to kind of quickly move between, you don't often see a lot of switching between different players or different characters within a match, and being able to kind of meet that moment, being able to identify where those weak points are and decide when I could get around better as a different character or I can play this character better. And we saw that with the Zarya fights, we saw that with the Genji fights, we saw that with the Reaper fights, we saw that with the Sombra fights. And really, this was a contest of skill that we saw between these two teams. But nevertheless, that is going to be a 2-0 Savannah College taking University of Washington. And that is going to end our stream today. Again, a reminder to make sure to get your election ballot in by Tuesday at 8 p.m. You can go to sos.wa.gov to get all the information about the candidates in your area, and the drop box for the university is going to be in front of Schmitz Hall, open until 8 p.m. on Tuesday. Once again, congratulations to University of Washington for beating UIUC and to Savannah College for beating UW. And thank you so much for joining us on the UW Esports Twitch channel tonight and spending time with the production crew, players, and talent. You can check us out at U of WA Esports on most platforms: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch. And you can join the Discord if you're interested in volunteering, in trying out for teams, and just learning what behind the scenes actually looks like. And thank you so much for joining us. I'm Tariq, also known as Cheater. I was joined earlier by Nelson Pandabear. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you next week.